So I'll just turn my phone off a little bit so it doesn't disturb anyone. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for coming today. There's beautiful sunshine outside and you chose to be here. For me, it's a good choice you guys made. But for some of you, maybe it's a forced choice. But either way, I'm so happy to see you. This is our third annual public speaking contest, which is open to all the youth in Lower Mainland. And we have our youth from we have from Langley, we have from Surrey, we have from Vancouver, we have from Coquitlam, Burnaby. So that's a good indication that youth are choosing to come here to compete on public speaking at an early age. It's 12 years and up, 12 to 17. So I'm so happy that you guys are here. Thank you very much, and thank you to all the parents for bringing them here, and thank you to judges, my friends who are here to start to have this afternoon with us. And I have our youth MCs who are here. They are homegrown public speakers, hopefully, and they are doing very well. They have chosen all the way. I must recognize our founding coach. He's been here since day one. And Brian Hyman, he moved away for his job, but he was always there to support us even this year. And on this afternoon, he's chosen to be here. It was such a good surprise for us. Yes. May I, at the beginning, I just wanted to introduce why the public speaking contest, just very shortly. As you know that public speaking is a very important skill we all have. It gives us an avenue to connect with the audience, connect with the people, connect with the society. It helps us to articulate our mind. It helps us to convey our message. It helps us to make further progress in our own lives as we are able to communicate with the society around us. And as I'm not a public speaker, I never had this formal public speaking coaching, but I believe that earlier we start in our life, we have good time to perfect ourselves, and when we are in a good adult, maybe we are a good speaker and it helps the society at large because we can do charity work, we can do many other good things for society, but we must be able to have ability to convey our dreams and get people on board with us. So, Steps Together decided 4 years ago, to have this kind of contest so that it gives a chance to youth to prepare and come. And we also run a few public coaching classes as well. We have some youth who are being trained by other coaches as well. But either way, it is the youth-driven and youth-led event, and I'm so happy to be here and hosting this program. I will invite our MCs, 3 MCs who are jointly executing the program today. May I invite Keisha Mistry. She has been our winner of the first year of public coaching in her category. Then we have Subbu Janaswamy. He has been a winner of his category in first year of our public speaking contest. And we have a Shiva Narayan, who has been also a winner, one of the contestants and winner of one of the levels in second year of public speaking contest, and this is the 3rd year, and hopefully next year we will have a lot more of you running the show. As you've seen, a lot more youth are running the event, and in a few years you won't see me on the stage except to say a few words. The rest, everything will be done by the youth as they are getting more confident of speaking. Anjali has been the coach this year with me, as Brian has been away. And Jay, another coach, she's decided to spend some time this year with her younger daughter. She's Keisha's mom, and we miss her today because she's out there with her second daughter doing a basketball championship. So I don't mind her spending time with her kids, but next year hopefully she'll be here. So may I invite Keisha, Subbu and Shiva on the stage and to run today's event.
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our third annual Steps Together speech contest. My name is Keisha Mystery.
Subhajana Swami.
And Shivan Ryan.
And we will be your MCs for today.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come watch and support our youth today. We are very excited to hear all their speeches and all the brilliant ideas. At this time, we would like to call up Shania Shankar to come up and sing O Canada for us to begin the competition. Shania?
All right.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you.
Thank you, Shania, for singing O Canada for us. Firstly, we would like to introduce you to our wonderful panel of judges. We'd also ask you to hold your applause till the end. Sitting on the left side of the judges' table, we have Jim Bales, who's a retired Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Jim Bales joined Catalyst Paper Corporation in 1976 and held a progression of positions with increasing responsibility with the sales and marketing group throughout his career. Most recently, Jim has served as Senior Vice President and General Manager at Newspaper International and is now retired. Jim holds a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Waterloo and a Master of Business Association degree from Golden Gate University. Jim, by virtue of being in international sales, knows the importance of excellent public speaking skills that are needed for success. He is fully supportive of guiding our youth on this path.
Next to Jim Bales, we have Jill Cook, who is the Executive Director for the Coquitlam Foundation. Jill has lived in the Tri-Cities since 1996 when she moved here from Winnipeg. She is a graduate from the University of Manitoba with a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature. Her first career was as a teacher librarian, and she has a long history with libraries, having worked for 15 years for the Winnipeg Public Library, and more recently as a board member and chair of the Port Moody Library Board and vice chair of Interlink. For the past 10 years, she has devoted her professional energies to nonprofit agencies in our community, and we are very grateful to have her today.
Besides Jill Cook, we have Michelle Rode, who is a teacher for the English department and student leadership program at Caribou Hill Secondary School, as well as the president of the British Columbia Association of Student Activity Advisors. Michelle is an excellent organizer of student leadership conferences and is currently engaged in planning one scheduled for October 2016 in Victoria, BC. She's an English and leadership teacher and fully supportive of developing public speaking skills amongst our youth.
Lastly, we have Poonam Nanda, who is on the far right of the judges' table. Poonam Nanda is a community service worker. She has worked diligently in caring for people and is always involved in giving her energy and time in helping them in whatever they need. It doesn't matter who, what, or when. She is always there. A perfectionist, she is grounded by her high values and has an art at conveying these to her children in the form of stories and plays. She has a passion in working with children and has an art to bring out their full potential. She loves to participate in community work, and her motto is, "Time spent for others is time well spent." She fully supports others acquiring strong speaking skills, and as a renowned storyteller, she is interested in listening to others. Please give a round of applause for our amazing judges.
So now that we've introduced you to our judges, I would just like to run you through the contest rules. Firstly, we have two categories, the first being 12 to 14, and the second being 15 to 17. Each contestant will give a speech between 5 and 7 minutes. We have our timekeeper over here. When she flashes you the green light, that means you have spoken for 5 minutes, the yellow 6 minutes, and the red 7 minutes. Once you hit the red light, you have 15 seconds to wrap up before we have to close your speech. Once you finish your speech, we have questions right here. You will blindly pick 3 of them, and then you will read those questions, choose which one you like best, and then answer it with a for the length of 1 minute. Again, we will have our timekeeper. The green light will be 30 seconds, the yellow 45, and the red 1 minute. Once again, we'll give you 15 seconds to wrap up before we have to get you to close.
Before we dive into our first category, we would like to invite Mr. Jim Bales to the stage for some words of encouragement for our contestants.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow judges, proud parents, and most of all, contestants. It's great that you're here, as Robbie said, and it's, I think it's a great adventure you're about to experience. A friend of mine in New York, his daughter wanted to do a good deed recently, and so she thought she'd make up some roast beef sandwiches and some coffee, prepare it for some street people, and take it out and offer sandwiches and coffee to the street people in Manhattan. So she had delivered a few sandwiches, but then she came across one fellow and handed him his sandwich, and he quickly opened it up and looked at the bun, put it back, handed it back, and said, "I don't eat mayo." And so I thought, wow, even the street people in New York have an attitude of entitlement. They feel they're entitled to a sandwich without mayo. Well, I can assure you that the contestants today have no attitude of entitlement, okay? There's 15 young boys and girls. They want to get better, they want to improve themselves and get better through public speaking. And I can assure you that's a very good way to build confidence and improve yourself, is through public speaking, what you're about to do today. As was mentioned earlier, I've just retired. I had 40 years in business, and through my career, I was able to see some very good speakers in various companies and some very bad ones, and the very good ones truly stand out. They have a very forceful content, a clear message what they want to deliver, and when they're done, you have no doubt in your mind what they wanted to say and what they said and what's next for you. Conversely, I've seen some very bad ones too, and so the good ones really stand out, so what you're doing today is a great step forward in that path. A couple of years ago, our company bought some new assets in the United States, some paper mills, and I had the pleasure of interviewing about 15 potential sales and marketing people that we ultimately hired. And one of the people that we did hire in the end, a fellow by the name of Brian, during the interview, he said to me, "Jim, I'm a very good public speaker." And I said, "Well, really? Okay, that's good to know." And honestly, just remember this, kids. That's the first time anyone has ever said to me in an interview, "I'm a good public speaker." So, sure enough, we ended up hiring him, and sure enough, he is a very good public speaker. Just a tip, one of the things he has a habit of saying when he talks, and just so you know, always learn, is he'd be making a comment and then he'd say, "The so what is," the so what is being the point of, when he explains what he's talking about. So, contestants, again, I wish you all the best. Just relax, be yourselves. Whether you win or lose, get a trophy as a material, you're already a winner for being up here. And just to put yourselves at ease, and maybe a bit of humor, out in the lobby I had a bit of a sartorial accident. I dropped something on the floor and bent over to pick it up, and the seat of my pants split. So There's a little bit. It could be worse, okay? You could have split the seat of your pants. And for the finish, I will
Thank you, Jim Bales, for that. I'm sure we all feel much more relaxed now. Things happen, but you just got to roll with it. Before we dive into the first category, I just want to let you all know there are some changes to the program. Under the 12 to 14 category, Eugene Zhang is being added to that, so he is not in the 15 to 17 category. And Bismay is not here, so he will not be competing today under the 12 to 14 category.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker from the 12-14 category, Abhinav Rajesh Naik.
I know all the speakers in the room today have been through the same mental state as me. It's called anxiety. Hello everyone, my name is Abhinav, and today I'm going to talk about anxiety, its symptoms, its effects on people, and how you can get over your anxiety issues. First off, I'll explain what anxiety is. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by an unpleasant feeling of inner turmoil, often accompanied by nervous behavior, such as pacing back and forth and rumination. Anxiety is the dread over anticipated future events. Anxiety is not the same as fear, whereas fear is a reaction to an immediate threat. Anxiety is the expectation of future threat. Some of the many diseases or disorders that anxiety can cause are heart diseases, diabetes, thyroid problems such as hyperthyroidism, memory loss, and much more. Anxiety can either be a short-term state or a long-term trait. People who have anxiety for a long time are afraid of future events that might not happen for a long time, such as job loss and death. These people have headaches in regular intervals or do not get any sleep, which might lead to many other long-term disorders. Some of the symptoms of anxiety are feeling nervous or restless, having a sense of impending danger, panic or doom, sweating or hyperventilation. In simple words, anxiety is the butterflies in your stomach that you felt today and will feel tomorrow. Some of the many things that you can lose because of anxiety are happiness and calmness. And at times, anxiety reaches to a level where you burst out at different people and at the wrong times, which can land you in many other big consequences. Some of the ways that you can reduce your anxiety is by doing various kinds of exercises. Yoga is a very good anxiety reliever. When I get anxious, I go out and play basketball because that is what I like to do. That helps me relieve stress. A stress ball can be useful at times. Incorporating mood-enhancing foods such as strawberries, peaches, and lettuce can also be helpful. Reducing the use of anxiety-increasing foods such as coffee or any kind of soft drinks can help you a lot. Doing deep breathing exercises and getting a good sleep can help you reduce your anxiety issues. So avoid thinking of the future too much, as you have to live today and be prepared of what you have to do in the future. Some of the many different kinds of anxiety you can have are existential anxiety. This kind of anxiety exist when there is an existential crisis. Some people also suffer from somatic anxiety, mathematical anxiety, stage fright, test anxiety. People or stranger anxiety are when people are apprehensive around strangers or other people in general. You can also suffer from choice anxiety. When you suffer from choice anxiety, you're afraid of every choice you make. And this kind of anxiety lasts over the period of making this choice. Some of the various habits that you get when you're anxious are finger biting, leg tapping, twisting your hair, and tapping your feet. As anxiety can be a long-term problem, you have to take precautions early and avoid thinking of the future too much. Repeating myself again, anxiety can either be a short-term state or a long-term trait. As there is only one today, live in that today and let tomorrow be a surprise. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav, for that enlightening topic on anxiety, which I feel too right now. All right, so now I'd like you to please choose three of the prompts, and then once you choose them, pick one that you like. Yeah. And I'll read it out. Abhinav's prompt is, what do you love and what are you doing about it?
So what do I love? I love to play basketball a lot. And I practice every day to become good at the things I'm doing at it and to be more inspired by what other people are doing in it. There are many things that basketball can teach you about how to be more mature in the way you play and how to be more concentrated and more prepared about everything. It teaches you about many other stuff and helps you become better as an individual and as yourself. Thank you.
That was great. I definitely agree. If it's something that you love, you'll work at it tirelessly and it won't feel like you're putting in that extra effort. I would now like to invite Aryan to the stage.
My speech is about a pencil's life. Imagine a giant pencil scribbling on a white piece of paper, making swirling lines as it moves across the paper. Why, hello everyone. My name is Aryan Call, and for now, you can call me HB. You heard it right. Believe it or not, but I am a living, walking, talking pencil. I might be the only one on the planet. Good afternoon, respected judges, awesome parents, and fellow contestants. I'm here to share my little story with you. It happens to be a bit sad, so you might need some tissues ready. I began my life as a seed. I was planted in a land which I called home, in beautiful British Columbia. I began to grow until I was a little seed. I was well taken care of. I woke up one morning and stretched every single one of my branches. Oh, in a way I do long to be a tree again. But all of a sudden, I heard a roar. I stopped, all scared, and saw two humans emerge from the bushes. This is all I remember as my last minute as a tree. For I woke up on a large moving thing. Thoughts were running in my head. Where am I? Before I knew, I went from one machine to another machine. A question ran up down my head. Why humans slaughter cedars? I was chopped into many blocks. I was beginning to think the pain and suffering was over, but no, no, no. The process was longer, now with pieces all over. I was starting to wonder what is going to happen. A silver lining was filled right in me. My initials were printed. I was all colored. I felt like the happiest would. I traveled far and wide with lots of colorful pencils and boxes. After spending days in a superstore, I went to a home. It was Finn's first birthday. The teacher gave me as a gift. He was so glad to have me. We became friends. For the next 1 month, he used me from maths to doodling, from puzzles to zoom car. But my golden days were over. He was upset over something and my luck. He rudely grabbed me and threw me out of the window. The next few days, I began to feel as though no one cared. Days passed and I lay there. Let me remind you, this is a happy ending story. The wonderful days were just at the corner. It was a bright, sunny day when I got my second chance. A boy named Bailey saved me. I have found my new home and new school. I know I'm safe around for the time being, but who knows till when. Thank you.
Well, that was pretty amazing. That was quite the adventure we took, starting from a tree and then ending up who knows where. Ariane's question is, what will you never do?
For myself, I would never, ever do, something what could harm the environment, I don't know, burning trees and stuff. It's really bad for the environment, and that's how we get our oxygen, and we need oxygen to live. And if I start doing that, or if anybody starts doing that, we'll lose oxygen with that, and it harms everybody a lot. And I hope no one ever does that. I will never do that. Hopefully you don't do that. It would be really bad. And thanks.
Thank you very much for that speech. It was very interesting to hear about someone who talked about the environment, talk about something that they won't do. It's refreshing to see someone who cares about the world and protecting the world for future generations. So right now, I would like to call up and invite Emily Lee onto the stage. Emily?
Flowers, cards, and different gifts. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, a day to honor mothers everywhere and to thank them for being there for us and always taking care of us. Everyone knows the importance of a mother being there for her children and her family. Because of this, many women decide to become stay-at-home mothers, but there are still more working mothers. People often say children need to be with their mothers. They need the love, the care, and the support. That is the truth. However, do the children really need their moms to always be there for them and always take care of them? Is it necessary for the mothers to sacrifice their careers? I believe that no. Mothers don't have to always be by the child's side to be a loving mother. They can have a job at the same time and still be that loving mother. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emily Lee, and today I will be talking about why being a working mother is beneficial. I will talk about how encouraging mothers to stay at home wastes many talents and education. I will talk about how there are other people who can take care of the children, and there are a lot of possibilities for women if they have a job. Encouraging mothers to stay at home wastes many talents and education. Women usually work very hard for their education, spending years studying and sacrificing their time, money, and effort. They work hard to create better futures for themselves and hopefully obtain good professions. If they become a stay-at-home mother, their hard work doesn't really pay off because they're taking care of their kids, but they're not getting the profession they worked so hard for. They could think that, oh, they're not that good because they can only do domestic jobs. But that's not true. They can do so much more. Domestic job is not just a regular job, it's a lot of different jobs. Mothers who have jobs are good role models for their children. Part of being a good role model is being a good mother. If a child sees that their mother is always at home and taking care of them, they could think that that's what they should do. It could prevent the children from creating their own career goals. And they could think that they don't need to study because they can stay home and take care of their children when they are older. Some children might develop the impression that they can just stay at home and study, and not study, and just take care of their children when they are older. However, that is not the case. My mom, who works in the healthcare industry, inspired me to have a passion for healthcare too. Now I have my own career goal, and I am persuaded to accomplish it. There are other people who can take care of the children. For many working mothers, they work because they don't want to work because they don't want their children to not have anyone to cook for them or pick them up. But there are other people who can take care of the children, such as different family members, or people who provide care for children as a profession. For some families, if the fathers are willing and capable of staying at home, especially if the mothers have higher paying jobs. The mothers don't have to always stay at home, just because there are stereotypes that say women should be the ones staying at home and doing household chores. For example, I know some families where the fathers stay at home because they are happy to do it, and the mothers have higher paying jobs. For some families, if they have the financial abilities, they send their children to daycares. The parents can work, and the children are being cared for. In this world, mothers always want to see their children happy. Even for many working mothers, they're scared that their time away from home will harm their children emotionally, and they won't really feel the love that truly exists. My mom works full-time, but when she wakes up extra early to make me breakfast or lunch and sleeps late to do housework, I can feel that love. Working mothers will benefit because encouraging mothers to stay at home wastes many talents and education of women. There are other people who can take care of the children, and mothers who have jobs are good role models for their children. As Mother's Day is tomorrow, we are reminded of the unconditional love between a mother and her children. Of all the gifts life has to offer, a mother is the greatest of them all. Mothers should always show that love, but they don't need to sacrifice their careers to show that everlasting love. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emily, for that speech. It sounds like you have a very bright career ahead of you in the healthcare industry, so I'd like you to pick up three of the cards and then pick a speech based on what you pick up. What is one thing that you haven't done that you really want to do?
Okay. Now, I have had a fear of roller coasters since I was really little. I'm just afraid of the part where I see the roller coaster go up, 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 and then just suddenly drops down. I want to overcome this fear because all my friends tell me, oh, when you're going down, it's really something different. It's something you can't experience like in any other aspects of life. And I just really want to experience that and overcome my fear and just overcome it with my friends who will support me, and we can just have a good time together. Thanks.
I'd now like to invite Tony Sun to the stage.
Nature, nature, nature is the basis of us. Nature is the foundations of us, the roots of us. It is what has taught us and nourished us ever since we are on this earth. Helen Keller once said, "To me, a lush carpet of pine needles or spongy grass is way more welcoming than the most luxurious Persian rug," to show her deep affection for nature. But it's time we start thinking whether we are doing the right thing to nature. Good afternoon, honored judges, parents, friends, and my fellow contestants. My name is Tony Sun, and today I'll talk to you about the destruction of forests and how we can help. As I mentioned before, nature has taught us with great wonders of plants and animals ever since we are a new species on Earth. From fire starting to airplanes, from stones to vaccines, these are all great things that nature taught us. Look deep into nature, as Albert Einstein had said, and you will understand everything better. However, we should think, are we giving back to the nature for all that it has done for us? Nature does provide free lunch, but only as long as we control our appetite. Clearly, some of us are not controlling our greed, not to mention it's any one of you here. Every 30 minutes, an area of the Amazon rainforest, larger than 200 football fields, will get cut down and destroyed. In the past 40 years, close to 20% of the Amazon rainforest was destroyed. And that equals to about 206 million football fields. Think of how much that is. And that is just in the Amazon rainforest alone. Each year, thousands and millions of trees and forests are destroyed and cut down. With no plants and no trees to support them, the animals that live inside them are forced to move away. With no plants to root down the soil, dust storms form, and more deserts stretch across the land. Deserts are growing by the size of New Mexico each year, and the largest growing desert, the Sahara, is even estimated to cover half of Europe if it's not stopped. Now, another problem arises to our forests. How many of you had heard of the Fort McMurray fire that happened just days ago? For those that haven't, there's a fire in Alberta that burned up down about 1,600 houses and left 80,000 people as fire refugees with nowhere to stay. It was the largest fire evacuation in Alberta's entire history. The fire started around last Sunday and is still not under control. It is growing by the minute, destroying more and more things. Insurers are said to have to pay $9 billion to cover the cost of the damages. There are currently, right now, 49 wildfires burning in Alberta, 3 of them out of control, and 12 of them just being held in place. Similarly, there are 53 wildfires burning in just northern BC. Officers in BC say that the region is experiencing a record number of fires, 3 times the historical average. This is a very serious thing. As you may be able to see, a few more years, and many deserts, no, not deserts, forests we're so fond of will be all gone. And all that's left will be smoke that hung over our heads and a warmer temperature. So now you may begin to wonder, how can I do to stop this? How can I reduce all those things? Which is good. Well, the answer may not be so hard and complicated. It ranges from just using waste paper to do some math calculations, or maybe doing a speech to raise awareness. They're all great things to do. You can reduce using wood-based products. You can reduce, recycle, and reuse every paper that you use. You can turn off the heater or the fan when you don't need them. The possibilities are limitless. It is just up to you. I believe that you all here are really smart and full of ideas, and that if you want to, you can achieve anything. So it is up to you to make that choice, to help nature by doing the little things in your daily lives. Or you can be lazy and do nothing. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. Mother Teresa had said, not all of us can do great things, but we all can do small things with great love. Just remember that by reducing 1 sheet of paper per day, all of us were doing wonders on the face of Earth. Thank you.
That was an enlightening speech about environmental, and also the human green. It does raise awareness how little things we do can make big changes to the environment. So Tony's prompt is, if you could choose one book as a mandatory read for high school students, which book would you choose?
So for me, if I can choose one book that will be mandatory for all high school students, it will undoubtedly be the Bible. So the Bible, in my opinion, contains lots of word of wisdom, and that is all agreed on. Although some of you may not believe in the Bible is true, I think we can all agree on that some of the words and wisdom in the Bible are universal, and they can teach people a lot of life lessons. So letting high school students read the Bible may give them a better opinion of the world around them, and also have more life skills and life wisdoms to get them through their years. Thank you.